Hey everyone, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene. I'm with A Room to Bloom, and I wanted to bring forth a message today. Happens to be Valentine's Day, and where I live, it is an absolutely beautiful day. Um, I don't know. I was thinking about this. If it's actually one of the days of Valentine's Day that is, like, as far as the most beautiful weather that I have ever been in on Valentine's Day. I'm not quite sure, but just really definitely measuring up. Anyway, so I hope you're having an awesome day as well. So I have this old deck by Monty Farber and Amy Zerner, and it's called the Cupid deck. They have since turned it into like the romance deck, I believe it's called. Um, but I've kind of been breaking this out since I've gotten it. And this one is from, I don't remember the year, but I don't know why 1980. Oh, I have the book right here. If it was 1989 is when they published this. Let's just see. $1996. Okay. 1996 this was published, so maybe that year means something to you. So this is an interesting deck, and I will use the book because what this does is it tells a story, and there are three categories of cards in different colors, and it tells a story. When we shuffle and take one card from each pile, there's a story and poems that unfold. So we're going to go ahead and start with the amethyst pile. I'm going to take the card. I'll tell you the title of the card, and then we're just going to go to the next one and take that. So here's the image, and what it says is the actor. So we're just going to set that aside for right now before we get into it much further. Let's just keep going here. Okay, the next one is, here is the image. The other side says initiates. Okay, and let's go ahead to the next pile. Because the story unfolds, you have to do these cards in this direction. All right, what's the next one we have? Here's the image, and it says service. Okay, so let's go ahead and read these together, and then we'll go to the book. So it says, I said initiates, it's initiates, pardon me. So the actor initiates service. That would be the message going across. You will have to become aware of the politics of your situation to succeed. Only then will you be able to, and then we go to the next card, reading this section. Only then will you be able to confront fears and assert yourself. Show you have enough passion and courage to take action to give more support than is received. As you look after others, be sure to care for your own needs as well. So we're going to just read this in a little bit more flow. You will have to become aware of the politics of your own situation to succeed. Only then will you be able to confront fears and assert yourself. Show you have enough passion and courage to take action to give more support than is received. As you look after others, be sure to care for your own needs as well. So again, the actor initiates service. So the actor is also like someone who takes action, right? So there is also a poem. So under the actor, it says, to reach the love that is your goal, you'll have to act your greatest role. When one you love declines to play, then bide your time, watch what you say. For now, pretend and play the game. You'll win and set their heart aflame. Okay, I find that really interesting. Okay, under initiates, we have, you'll quickly get the love you want. The time is near, be confident. Be the first to find your way. Don't question, dally, or delay. Cut right to the matter's heart and make your point like Cupid's dart. I just love these. Okay. The next one under service, we have love's test is when there comes a time to put your own needs next in line. To those of one you love so dear, to help them out you'll volunteer. And tend to details large and small, for service proves love over all. So really beautiful message. Again, let's just take the image again on the card with the actor. So beautiful, a lot of beautiful colors here. Okay. Initiates. So we have a home or a home in the background. Confronting fear and assert yourself. Show you have enough passion and courage to take action. So there's stars here. They stand with a sword. It looks like a fire, but so it's like going through something that might be challenging, right? And again, the card of service. Oh, here this person is picking up something and putting it in the basket, right? Or they're carrying a basket. So I'm just going to go to the book with this and see what else unfolds with this. I'm not sure if they're alphabetical. Let's see. No, they are not alphabetical. Okay, so under the actor we have a figure dressed in a geisha emerges demurely from one of the petals of an opening flower. That is like the proscenium of a stage. She fans herself lightly. I'm trying to hold this here. Okay. She fans herself lightly. I don't know why this is doing this. Hold on. Okay. She fans herself lightly, more for effect than to provide any cooling breeze. The fan in her hand is mirrored by those in the surrounding borders. Boy, this is temperamental here, isn't it? I'm going to set it down. It's kind of getting distracting. So the fan in her hand is mirrored by those in the surrounding border, and they and the floating dragons heighten the theatrical quality of the scene. In the plays of the traditional kabuki theater, it is common for men to play the female roles. There is a strong possibility that under her flowing kimono, laboriously coiffed hair, and heavy makeup, this geisha is a man. It is good to look beyond our habitual system of classification based on our expectations and perceptions. For centuries, theater has inspired and altered fashion, morals, and politics. Many ancient customs and traditions, good and bad, have withered and died as a result of being illuminated by their portrayal on the stage. Ideas that could not be stopped by force were often stopped by ridicule or general understanding. What has motivated the actor to take on the role of the geisha? Do the traits attributed to the geisha merit emulation and widespread dissemination? Or does the actor feel the subservient, docile role associated with the geisha now needs to be held up to public scrutiny? The geisha is the symbol of courtesans and people of both sexes whose life and livelihood depend on cultivating the attention and favor of powerful individuals. The role of the actor is played by all of us at some time, but none play it more than individuals involved in politics. In China, you could tell a courtier's rank by the number of claws on the dragon that adorned his court clothes. Only the emperor could wear a dragon with 5 claws. The dragons on the card that hover around the actor have 3, the middle of the spectrum. The life of the courtesan was spent trying to stay balanced in the middle of the powerful forces swirling around the one whose favor was cultivated. The heart of the matter, it says, often in life there are things are not what they appear to be, and this may be well one of those times. It is most likely appearances, not people, that are deceiving you. In any case, you must question your assumptions. It will not be enough to trust that things are still the same just because you do not see how they have changed. Appearances are important. Style is as important as substance, and you may have to pretend that you have much more confidence than you really have. If you are looking for a loving relationship, you would do well to put on a grand show highlighting your strong points, your achievements, and your general desirability in every way possible. It may seem too demanding of your resources, but it will pay off in the long run. If you are comfortable with being recognized for your achievements, or if you think you have none, this reveals a problem that should be faced and dealt with. Once again, the actor can help. So it's like putting on the mask, or the idea of fake it till you make it. If you are in a relationship, it is likely that your partner is unwilling or incapable of seeing and accepting the need for change in the situation that exists between you. In order to assist in this transitional time, you must not let on what you know to be true until it is clear that your partner can handle the stress involved. If it becomes obvious that your partner is never going to be able to handle the truth, you will have to leave. Acting was one of the 3 holy arts of ancient India because the actor imitated the divine spirit when a character was brought to life in order to depict a particular role in a drama. Furthermore, the ancient sages knew a powerful technique for achieving goals that has only recently been recognized and utilized again. The technique is acting as if the desired goal has been attained, right? Acting as if. The appearance of the actor is an indication that you should act as if things are the way that you would like them to be. So this is the embodiment. Embody the energy, right? This will alert and inform your subconscious mind as to how you would like things to be. The subconscious is powerful. You may see that things begin to move in the right direction as if by magic. It is often said that the theater is a dictatorship, with the director acting as the dictator. It is no wonder that the actor is legendary for knowing how to play politics. It is time for you to do so too. Interesting. Okay. My nose is tickling. Okay, and initiates. Let's see. Initiates. Oh, I have to get to the right section here. So initiates is, taking charge of a situation. The actor takes charge of a situation. I missed it. It's just fun to go through the book and see the other words that may have popped up, right? It wasn't in that section. That's why I'm kind of surprised. I found service. So what I'm going to do is check that card in there and just make sure, because I could have marked the book wrong. I think I'll just go to the front of the book and see if it gets us in the right direction here. Okay, so it's too funny. Here we found it. Okay, initiate. So I'm going to look at the time. Okay. Okay. A man stands resolutely. Though the fire appears... Oh, I grabbed the wrong card. Pardon me. Though the fire appears to pour down around him from on high, he has waited long enough and now decided to initiate his plan. He has no fear of the flames. Fire is an ancient symbol of the energy available to us all when we decide to take action, right? This goes with the Wands cards, represents the element of fire and action. His calm face believes the exhilaration he feels. He has overcome the all too human tendency to do nothing but just wait and see. He has allied himself with the transcendentally powerful force that creates the entire universe in every moment. The excitement he feels is the emotional counterpart of the energy he has allowed to pass through him as he works on his will on his reality. He holds a sword, symbol of the idea that motivates his plan, but he holds it pointed down. The time for ideas has passed. Instead, he raises his left hand, and his desire to get things moving is so intense that a flame leaps out into the strange night sky. It is the first spark that will set his plan into motion. The flowers in the foreground are the result of actions taken in the past. They stand before him in their beauty and beckon him to stop and smell them. However, he has decided that there is no time to waste waiting another moment. He stands upon ground decorated in sharply contrasting stripes, symbolic of the duality of his situation. He is either beginning his work or he is not. At this time of initiation, everything appears black or white, with no gray to confuse and delay. Initiation is also the process through which someone is admitted to a club, rank of honor, or station in life. The initiation entails performing or sometimes enduring a predetermined ritual or series of meaningful actions. In this case, the man has to go far outside the protective walls of his home. The flower-like stars that seem to be falling from the sky, that is their own home, give this scene a transcendent feeling that seems to say what we are seeing is the most powerful of all initiations. Here is an individual who takes action in order to become more himself. The heart of the matter. The card's appearance in a reading is an indication that taking action to get what you want is the key to bringing true love into your life and making an existing relationship better. You cannot make significant changes in your love life if you cannot overcome your natural resistance to doing what you know has to be done. If you can initiate action to improve your situation in spite of fears and insecurities, you will soon see positive results. You know, this is so interesting. I started watching for a second time. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and it's called The Commoner, and it's about um, a prince of Norway, and it's a true story, who fell in love with a commoner at a party. And, you know, he just was having a really hard time talking with his father about it because he's supposed to marry a princess, right? But he really wanted to marry this other girl. So, again, if you can initiate action to improve your situation in spite of fears and insecurities, and that's what he was having, because he'd say to his father, I want to speak about something, but his father kept saying something to derail him right before he would speak about it. Anyway, if you do that, you'll soon see positive results. Fear of the unknown is the biggest obstacle to making a move, and even though things may be undesirable as they are, at least they are known. However, you must have confidence that you possess an innate ability to guide yourself on the proper course to achieving your desires. It is the power of your higher self. Your higher self communicates with you through hunches, flashes, and inspirations, insights, and dreams. The language of dreams is symbolism, a most powerful force and one that operates in our waking consciousness as well. Think about daydreaming, right? You know, somebody's talking to you and it's like, hey, hello, hello, are you there? And you're just like, you're someplace else. You have been, it's just like you're somewhere else and someone's got to kind of call you back, right? The symbolism of the card is one of an individual taking a unique action without needing the approval of another. If you want to be first in your true love's eyes, you must be the first to make your move. In addition, you should act upon your first impulse and not second guess yourself. Indecisiveness is incompatible with initiation. You must consider what has gone before and, more important, what you are about to initiate as a test of your commitment to having the best possible relationship. If you are to be initiated into the circle of those who have found their soulmates, you must not allow inertia, fear, or any common obstacle to stop you from making the changes you know are essential. There's urgency in this card. You cannot wait any longer. Even though you may want to gather more information before you act, you must see your situation stripped bare of any elements that are not important to make your decision based only on what is real and meaningful to you. If you would enjoy the passion of love, you must first act with passion. Okay. So then the next card again was service. And so once again, here's the image. Appearing as frozen in place as a statue, a man stands poised in the eternal position of sowing the seeds for a future bountiful harvest. At the bottom of the scene are symbolic images of the ordered rows of crops that will soon spring from the seeds sown by this tattered but honest tiller of the soil. His clothes are made from the cotton, wool, and leather that he himself has grown, shorn, and tanned. The buildings behind him were fashioned from trees he cut down and milled himself. His seeds are the result of the skill and foresight gathered in the past to ensure his survival. Even the basket from which he disperses the seeds is a vessel that he has made himself. It is not in the not too distant past, when the majority of people spent their time working the land to survive, a scene like this was as common as eating. Today, it is almost never seen. Yet, a farmer sowing seeds is a symbol so basic and essential to our daily life on physical, mental, and spiritual levels that statues of his noble farmer should be erected in places of gathering throughout the world instead of, or at least together with, those of warriors, something all too many farmers have been forced to become. In any event, it is both farmers and soldiers who give their all so that others may be safe and sound. I have goosebumps, very moving. Surrounding his head is the flaming halo of the sun's aura. This farmer is up with the dawn, and so that many people who are still asleep in the village behind him will eventually reap the fruit of his labors. Just as the sun gives all to life, it is the efforts of those willing to put their short-term comfort second to their long-term goals that enable many others to survive. It is the uppermost border. I'm sorry, in the uppermost border is another halo. Oh, I see here. Like going around the card is another halo. This one representing the spirituality emanating from the scene of pure harmony with the rhythms and cycles of nature. The farmer does his best to assist fruit trees, flowers, and crops to propagate and flourish. It is no wonder that the sun crowns this simple farmer with life-giving golden rays. The jewel-encrusted symbols of rank sitting atop the heads of world rulers pale in comparison to the crown that ennobles this farmer and his service to humanity. You know, it's interesting because I was talking about this movie last night, and he was called The Crowned Prince, right? The Crowned Prince. So the heart of the matter is that this card is an indication that Cupid wishes you to emulate the qualities indicated by the card you selected from the amethyst pile, and to do so in a manner indicated by the card you selected from the ruby pile. Do so in a manner of facing your fears and having passion and courage to take action is going to depend on your attitude toward service. There often comes a time when one partner must put his or her own needs second to the others, though it may seem like this goes against what you know to be true about the equality necessary in a truly loving relationship. Of course, if this imbalance goes on too long, or if the partner providing the service is asked to do things he or she is not willing to do, the service card can indicate that the relationship can begin to appear as frozen, as the farmer whose form illustrates its meaning. The reappearance of the sun in the form of the counterbalance is loving service provided by one's partner, can thaw out the situation every time if true love is really there. Okay, this is really interesting. I just did another reading, which will have been released before this, and I made a deck called the Snowball Oracle, and that card came out, and it spoke about the warming house and the fact of, have you been giving somebody the cold shoulder, and do you need to go into the warming house to melt, where have you become cold to another? So this is the same type of thing. Anyway, so again, provided by one's partner can thaw out the situation every time if true love is really there. Like farming, service is hard work. For this reason, the appearance of this card means that love will enter your life through your job or career. Also related to farming are food, exercise, health, and hygiene. Attend to your personal hygiene, clean up the details of your life, and make sure that anyone you are interested in does so as well. Those matters are even more important more important than they usually are at this time. Improve your cooking skills. Learn the inseparable relationship between what you eat and how you feel. Work on fitness, and you will be more attractive and in a position to meet another fit and attractive person. Service to another must be given freely and with love, or it is not service but servitude. When love is present, you enjoy knowing that you are helping your partner to live to the full. It is equally rewarding to use your strengths to compensate for any weakness your partner has. When these energies are flowing back and forth freely, you will come to know a level of pleasure in life you have never known before. The service card actually holds the secret of true joy and happiness in a committed relationship. So, very lovely message, really powerful as well, right? Asks us each to take a look at where we are um, in our life. I think I'm going to go a little bit further and see if I can get more information from the Tea Leaf Oracle. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is we just have a few cards here. It's called the Astral House. Let's see what else, what wants to come up here with these. Okay, so I'm just going to take one. Here we go. Marriage, right? So here we are. It's Valentine's Day. Okay, so this is what this is going to be about, marriage, right? That's called the Astral House. Then we have months of the year. I'm not going to necessarily use those. I'm going to set those aside right now, but we've got 2 stacks of these cards. So let's put these together and see what messages would like to come out. What do we need to know about marriage? There are rings here, so I do want to hold that up. All right, what message do you have here? Okay, this one's going to drop out. Let's see what this is. Finger, interesting. Warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. So finger like pointing to a situation. Okay, what else do we have? Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Okay, a change is coming. Mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. And that's so interesting, right? Because again, this falls under like service and this thing about the warming the heart, right? So someone just might not want to change. I'm going to see what else we can get here. Tell us more about this finger. Oh, okay. We dropped one here. 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. Either now or in the future. So finger warning you of a problem possibly regarding a fortune. Okay. Okay, the next one we have is scales. Keep your life in balance. That falls under the initiate, right? Which is interesting because even with everything that we read, right? Balancing your life, balancing your meals, learning how to, taking care of yourself, to have that love in your life. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming, but learning how to find balance in your life. So when we think about like the mind, body, spirit connection, how, do we lean heavily into one area or 2 areas, but avoid the other one? This is where we're being asked to have balance. Confront your fears and assert yourself. Okay, here's another one that fell out. This is going to go under the service and the mule. You guys, you can't even believe this. Honor and respect will come to you. The crown, right? Yeah, boy, that it just kind of all rolls together, especially as I was talking about like this, the commoner. Okay, on the very bottom of the deck, we have the moon changes in your life, right? Moons can be something of the subconscious, something that you are not seeing. We'll go a little bit deeper here. We have the lily, spiritual love, right? I was just actually kind of writing about that in our human experience, we like to know that someone, is in our experience, like on a physical basis, which like on a physical basis, the marriage. But a spiritual love is something that goes beyond that, right? It goes beyond the physical, it goes beyond the time. It's bigger than that, it is all encompassing. Um, it's like a knowing. And then we have the broom. The broom is representative of a new home and a new attitude. Okay, so that's it. We're just going to let that be. I'm going to go to another deck here called the Oracle of the Birds. Let's see what wants to step forth here with this. The heron, balance of energy, yin and yang. So yin is the female, yang is the masculine energy. Meditation and introspection bring you into your power. Here again, so we have this same card of balancing yourself, balancing the masculine, balancing the feminine, which is also what this speaks about, like working in partnership, if you will, the masculine and the feminine. When somebody was maybe like, these are the roles of the man, these are the roles of the woman, but there might be changes here, right? And it's interesting because that falls under like that politics idea, the actor, the geisha here. So interesting. Okay, under initiates, we have the swan, light and beauty. Recognize the beauty of life. It is mirrored in the gown of your soul, right? So looking for the silver lining, seeing the beauty in all that is, keeping life balanced. But right now there is a change that has been happening, but it will not always be this way. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next thing. All right, this is funny because I think this is on the bottom of the deck when I started shuffling and I saw it. And it is the kingfisher, and it speaks about fortune. Looking inside, you find strength and calm. Every person is the architect of their own future, right? Which goes to me right back to this card. This person is about to take some action. They're no longer waiting, as it said. The sword is down. Now it is time to move forward, take the action, find your strength, stay calm. Every person is the architect of their own future, right? So if someone has been afraid to take action in a situation, that has to do with a loving relationship, or afraid to speak their truth, or be honest about a situation. This is the time to do it. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Thunderbird. What it says is supernatural power and guidance. Everyone has a task in the grand plan. Transform your powerful inner fire into light. Same thing again, getting back to here, the inner fire. It's like he holds up a sword. This is it. I'm transforming this. I'm taking something I'm passionate about to help the world, like the farmer who is sowing the seeds and producing while other people are resting and sleeping, and they have become dependent upon the farmer potentially, right? So this is saying, take your powerful inner fire and turn it into light. And what does the light do? Somebody who holds the light helps others through the darkness, right? So take that. We're going to go one more here underneath. Goose, loyalty and reliability. Stay true to yourself. You will find outer peace by finding peace within. So what is your soul wanting to experience? Have you been pushing yourself out of soul character, if you will? And then one more, we have the J, balancing energy, increase of energy. Words are magic. Choose them wisely, right? Speak words of life over yourself, over your family, over your loved ones. Speak words of life. Okay, and that is the message for today. I want to wrap this up. I want to say thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Hope everyone's doing awesome. Take care.